It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA. We're joined by the legends Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll see the Boston Celtics playing against the Los Angeles Lakers. And for Los Angeles, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. Fellas, it seems like so much goes into being successful at the professional level. I want to ask a more general question. What was the key to your success as a player and as a champion?
You know what? Most people would say you would start at the top, but I'll start where it began. Wilmot Benjamin, Tom Donahue, coaches who've helped me at my AAU, early stages out, then going to the late, great Jack Curran in high school. Those were the ones. And honestly, there's no bigger than family. My brother Vince and my dad were the ones who really got me there.
Well, you got to have great teammates. You know, I'm the first one to say, yeah, I have 4 championships, but one of my favorite teammates, Big Shot Bob, he saved me so many times. Another one of my favorite teammates, B. Shaw, he saved me. Rick Fox, he saved me. So you got to have great teammates, great organizations. You know, they allow you to focus on what you do and what you do best, as long as family and friends and all that. And Ernie, I remember when you interviewed me when I was 18 years old.
I remember that. Now, I had just started at Turner, went to San Antonio, and did a feature on Big Shaq.
Wow, that's incredible.
It was.
Yeah.
I haven't changed at all, have I?
No, you still look beautiful.
I had more hair.
Good genes or good docs?
He's got good doctors.
Let's get to Kevin Harlan. Kev.
I woke up in a new Bugatti.
A gorgeous nighttime view of historic Boston, Massachusetts, lighting up the twilight sky. It's the Lakers, and they're doing business on the road. It's an interconference NBA matchup. It's getting noisy here in Boston. We're at the home of the Celtics. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And so off the tip, it's Boston. Turner passes to Lee. The Celtics working the ball around now. Smart kicks to Zeller. Lets it go from 11. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Zeller's got the first basket of the game for the Celtics.
You know, one of the things, guys, that impressed me about the Celtics was the number of assists they had. I mean, they really focused on moving the ball. And when you do that and you have shot makers, the assists pile up.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Kobe and Randall, the forward duo. Clarkson is out there with Russell. And it's Hibbert in at the 5.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
With the Celtics and their assists, they were second in the league in potential assists per game, meaning shots they missed that if they made would have been assists.
And that is a good thing, if you weren't sure. I mean, they were sandwiched between the Hawks and Warriors in that category. Pretty good company to be in. So they move the ball well. They just need to get a little more consistent at knocking down open shots.
Kobe dishes to Randall. Turner against Kobe. To the middle. Outside Russell. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Well, that's simply a great move there, Kevin. He dusted off the defense and got to the cup for the easy basket.
The Celtics have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Pick by Zeller. Lee outside. The dish to Zeller. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Well, last year, Tyler Zeller both started and came off the bench, showed he could be an effective player even when playing heavy minutes.
Yeah, and if you look at the games that he played as a starter, he increased his usage, and it didn't bother his production at all.
And that one falls for Zeller.
And for Zeller last season, his numbers were the same or better as a starter. His scoring picked up a touch. Still had a great field goal percentage, too, so really solid production in his first couple of years.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And I think the big thing for Zeller was that he found his role in the league. He knows he'll be an energy guy who has to make the most of his touches. And to his credit, he is nothing but a positive force on the floor.
Passes it to Clarkson. That's good, and it's Bryant with the assist. Clarkson's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. On defense, the Lakers. Let's send it out to DB, who caught up with head coach Brad Stevens. Doris?
They'll be up against one of the true giants of the league in Roy Hibbert, and he talked about how impressed he is with Hibbert's dedication to improving his game, saying he's gotten better year after year, and now is one of the guys you have to account for really at both ends of the floor. Defensively, you've got to get low and try to root him out of the paint, and then on offense, we'll probably look to put him in pick and rolls to test his mobility. Seems like a smart strategy, guys. We'll see how they do.
All right, Doris. Los Angeles making a switch here. Pass is checked in. Screen by Lee. Bradley passes to Lee, and that one's good. Lee's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
On occasions last year, the Lakers were all right on offense. Other times, they were just stagnant. There was just no motion, nothing going on.
That's a great point, and their ball movement could use some work. A lot of ISOs last season, and it killed a lot of the flow the team had in the half court.
Randall no good. The Celtics with the lead. Smart kicks to Bradley. Nice pass. Right under the rack perfectly for the layup. And there's 1:45 left in the first quarter. There's the feed to Randall. Back to Kobe. Shot from the wing. And Lee pulls it down.
That's a very low percentage shot. Not good basketball at all. One he probably should have passed on.
Now here's Smart. Defense is right there. 6 to shoot. Shoots from the elbow. That one wide left.
And that's the shot he has to take.
Exactly. That's the right look. The decision was good. He just didn't execute.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Lakers shooting their first free throws of this game.
And talking about last season, this team hit just 74% of their free throws. I'm sure they were hoping for better than that.
And that just has to improve, guys. I mean, the free throw shooting is something that has to get better. You're immediately putting yourself at a disadvantage when you shoot that poorly from the line.
And a whole new group out on the floor for the Celtics. The Lakers also making some changes. Sacre is checked in for Julius Randle. Young comes in for Bryant. And it's Williams in for Clarkson. And he's good on the second. 58 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Thomas kicks to Sullinger. Here's Jerebko. Olynyk in the corner. Launches it. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Russell dishes to Bass. The shot. Shot's good by Williams. Williams has got his first 2 points. Celtics leading by 3. Dishes to Jerebko. It's deflected. Outside Thomas. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And this guy is a scoring machine. I mean, I know I'm not the only one to describe him that way.
Young outside. The layup off target.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And that does it for the first quarter. Celtics lead by 5. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Kobe Bryant, dealing with the wear and tear of decades in the league, he talks about how he remains effective.
Well, you have to make adjustments. You try to figure out what you can and can't do, and you have to try to learn that pretty quickly and figure out how effective you can be. And so it's just about making adjustments.
At Kobe's age, and with the 2 years worth of injuries, is coming back for him just a matter of, Greg, adjustments? Or is that another way of saying he has to limit everyone's expectation, including his own?
You know what? When it comes to Kobe Bryant, history has shown that the normal rules just don't apply. I think it's the rest of the league that's going to have to adjust to a well-rested and still very lethal Black Mamba.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. What do you guys think about the Celtics here in this one?
They've won the effort battle, and that's allowed them to control the backcourt.
And it's been gang rebounding. I mean, everybody has done a great job boxing out for him, and it's showing up on the stat sheet.
Taking a look at Los Angeles. Nick Young and Kobe Bryant filling out the wings. Robert Sacre is out there with Roy Hibbert, and it's Williams at the point guard. Here's Sacre. Hibbert with the screen. Outside Williams, 5 to shoot, and that one's good.
And a lot of teams are looking for coaches that embrace analytics and look at data-driven approaches. Coach Scott is not one of those guys. He's an old-school coach who goes with his own perception.
Thomas, soft touch off the glass. Thomas got the lead up to 7 now for the Celtics. And here's Los Angeles. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. And former Coach of the Year Byron Scott now with the Lakers. And as you said, Greg, he's not an analytics guy. And Clark, I think he's a guy that the eye test for him is huge.
Yeah, he feels a lot. Terrific communicator and storyteller. Great experience as a player and as a champion. And I think that all is evident in his coaching style.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Gentlemen, Byron Scott had some advice for his team in that last timeout. He was intent on running the offense through Kobe. Coach has a lot of faith in him offensively and let his players know it, insisting that he be at the forefront of what they do at that end of the court from here on out. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. Celtics leading by 5. Outside Thomas. Young with the steal. Now the Lakers on the break. And there's Kobe. That's good on the assist by Williams. And it's 6 points for Kobe Bryant.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Now here's Bradley. Shot clock at 5. Pass to Zeller. Again, the Celtics good for 2.
And a big height advantage right there.
You know, it's tough to bring a big man that far away from the goal, but that might be a mismatch they're willing to live with.
Well, taking a look at Avery Bradley, his career's been kind of up and down. Greg started out in high school where he developed into one of the nation's top prospects in high school.
You know, it's a great point. And as a college freshman, really established himself as one of the top defensive guards in the country, won numerous awards, then enters the draft after only 1 year.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first.
Well, clearly the Lakers were not a great team. I mean, they did have one of their better bench units last season. They led the league in points off the bench, but that was more an indictment of the quality of the starters than the firepower of the bench.
And some changes here for the Celtics. David Lee's checked in for Johnson, and Smart subbed in for Thomas. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Jordan Clarkson, he's checked in for Young. We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And Zeller kicks to Turner. Zeller setting the pick for Turner. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there. Last year, the Lakers did have some firepower off the bench. A lot of players would see their roles shift during the year, as you might expect for a team trying to find the right combination.
Yeah, they were also near the top in the league in bench minutes played. So whether you start or come off the bench last year in L.A., you'll see plenty of action.
Russell, he's checked in for Williams. Now here's Bryant. 6 points for him. Fades away. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. And it's now only a 1-point Celtic lead. There's 1:54 left in the first half of basketball. Lee kicks to Zeller. He dishes it to Bradley. Lets it go from deep. Can't get it to go. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Clark, this offense has really been clicking.
No doubt about it, giving the defense all kinds of trouble.
And they know it, guys. They're playing right now with the kind of energy that is hard to deal with. Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
No question about it. No flop there. That was a direct shot to the chest.
Olynyk, he's checked in for the Celtics. The Lakers also with a sub. Bass is checked in. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Here's Lee. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Well, David Lee with the Golden State Warriors began his career with the New York Knicks. We're talking about him and his play, and it's sometimes hard to get a good compass on what kind of player he is.
Yeah, you know, he was drafted 30th when he came out and certainly played above that draft slot. Then when he re-upped for the 6 years, $80 million, people started to wonder if he was able to play to that value.
And getting back to David Lee, before the big contract, he was putting up some huge lines. I mean, he was the first Knick to go 30 and 20 in a game since the great Patrick Ewing. And he became the first NBA player to record at least 35 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists since Kareem back in 1976.
And both free throws good for Lee.
And, you know, back to David Lee, we all know about his struggles with the Warriors, and many had written him off completely. But then at the end of last season, he showed that he still has the energy and skills to contribute if given minutes.
Now here's Kobe. 8 points for him. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And one feels bad for the way Julius Randle's career started. I was there that night. First game of the season, 7th pick out of Kentucky in the 2014 draft. Suited up for 1 game, broke his right leg 14 minutes in. And the guy that comforted him the most, I recall very vividly, Kobe Bryant, stayed with him the entire time. And he was really in shock on the floor.
He was. And unfortunately, for so many reasons. For one, he had really been progressing in the Summer League. And the Lakers obviously had high hopes for him. And when he went down, that was the start of the rest of the ship kind of going down with him.
Crowder, he's checked in for Turner. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And, you know, going back to Randle's rookie year, his troubles really started during medical checkups before the draft. They found a foot injury dating back to high school. The 5th metatarsal had been broken, which may be why he fell a few spots in the draft.
And Bradley gets it to go.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know, he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Kobe goes in. It's out of bounds. They are saying it was last touch by Lee.
And talking about Randle's rookie injuries, the Lakers were going to let him play through the foot. But once he broke the leg, they did season-ending surgery on the foot as well. Hopefully, now he can just stay healthy and get to play the game he loves.
Jerebko's checked in for Boston. Robert Sacre, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Now here's Bass. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Bryant has the open look. Los Angeles with another miss. To the inside. Here's Olynyk. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Smart's got 3 assists now in this one.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
Now, here is Russell. Just 5 to shoot. Bass. Rebound by Olynyk.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Celtics out in front, up 5. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, thank you. Roy, I know you have just a couple seconds, but in a nutshell, what's going to be your approach going into the second half?
Well, we're just going to make sure we keep them off the board and keep them out of transition.
Thank you, Roy. Kevin, over to you.
Thank you so much, Doris. Great interview as always. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with the second half of basketball shortly.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Boston found themselves in a close game in the first. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. The second quarter was dead even in terms of their scoring output from both teams, and they still find themselves in a good position at the half. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
Well, their playmakers were in top form tonight. They showed great court vision and great ball movement. That's why they had so many assists. It's much easier to defend guys who don't want to pass the basketball.
Shaq, your take on the Lakers.
Their defense is getting flat out embarrassed. Embarrassed, however you say it, Ernie. I realized they had to deal with a team who was red hot most of the first half, but that's an excuse. You know what? They got to be aggressive. They got to step up on that D. They got to prevent that. They need more effort, Ernie.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.